got one question for you. Are you ready?
And we are live. What's going on, everybody? It's our first day. It's our first day of a completely different format, or well, different stream. I'm doing a different stream now. We're still around. And we have my lovely, I would say, Booker sister, friend, Nicole. She has joined us today. We totally appreciate it. This is our kickoff. Whether anybody shows up, they'll watch it. But
there you go.
It's always starting off new is always like so difficult. And we also have James. What's going on, James?
What up?
So today is the kickoff for Tasty Licks Music. This channel is dedicated completely to music and nothing else. So if you guys are used to us being on some other channels, that's no longer what I'm doing. I think that Beard Metal Chef is still doing some grooming content and things, right?
I saw you doing some. Still mostly on like Instagram and stuff right now, but yeah, still kind of here and there.
Still cool. And then and then we have Nicole. So Nicole, give us your elevator introduction. We're gonna all introduce ourselves tonight because nobody knows. This is a new channel, a new beginning, and nobody knows who we are.
I like really hate elevator speeches, but I will say I've been in the music industry for 15 years. I started out working at a heavy metal record label, then a singer-songwriter. Then I worked completely and solely for some PR firms, which I still do. And I've worked with a plethora of artists, ranging from like 70s legacy artist, 90s artist, and then up and coming artist, and some in between. And then now I book your show.
Whoops our show to all of the audience that is not here right now. This reminds me, so Nicole and I did the other channel, and this reminds me exactly of that other channel. The first time we did it, remember we did the first live stream and literally 0 people showed up. And
but I feel like people always go back and watch.
They do indeed, and that's the whole thing is that the new people that are going to be seeing this, it's going to be something new, and we're going to get more different traction, Oh, there's one person. Yay!
See, how do you see these people on here? I just see
I have the little count on my side. Do you guys see the little count, the little eyeball that has like a count on it?
No, but thank you whoever has showed up.
Whatever.
What's up? Yay!
Yeah, one person.
We do this because we have so much fun doing this, and we're trying to definitely build up our subscribership going on. I mean, we have a total of 13 subscribers right now. So we gotta, but this is cool. It's we got 13 without doing much, and now I'm going to really heavily focus on marketing. So that's the big thing about being able to do this channel. So James, let's give your elevator speech really quick. What is your background? What is it that what draws you to this kind of channel or show?
Yeah. So introduction. My name is James, the Bearded Metal Chef. Of course, I've been doing like beard product reviews for quite a while, and I got dogs in the background, so I apologize. Barking at the cat. But so I've been doing like product review stuff for a little bit here and there on YouTube and whatnot. So took a break from that, and me and Andy started kind of getting into a little bit of where can we kind of make a live stream out of stuff, and desserts and food hospitality stuff we were already into, and obviously we were interviewing beer companies and stuff. So doing the food stuff, and we kind of decided to go a different direction with doing like music. And so yeah, we started Tasty Licks. So it was like beers and desserts, and it was Tasty Licks. So just developed into kind of interviewing musical guests, and it's been awesome. I mean, the guests that we've had in the past, it's just been awesome learning about different music and learning about different artists that are out there, rather than just like the normal kind of everyday thing that you hear on the radio, and know that there's a whole wide variety of artists that are out there trying to get their music out that might not be like mainstream and stuff like that. So it's just been awesome to kind of learn about different music artists, and help getting their name out there, and the people that might not know about them. So, but yeah, and here we are. So.
Oh, that's lovely. I love hearing stuff like that.
Yeah. Do you know what? And that's the thing, that's both the reason why we liked it, is because both of us were like, hey, we really love the music piece. We both, well, the fact that he was bearded metal chef, and I'm like, oh, that's perfect. That's awesome. So my name is Andy.
People always like, why the bearded metal chef? Well, I'm bearded.
Yeah.
I'm into metal. And I mean, I cook for a living, been cooking for a while. So it's like, and just something I kind of came up with the name wise when I came on Instagram, and it just kind of fit and fell in there. So why not? So I mean, people ask me that, and I'm like, it's just stuff I'm into. That's how I picked the name. So
do you know what's also really cool about James is the fact that he is the all-time winner of all of the bearded communities, like by far the challenges or whatever giveaway, he is like facts, like he's always like looking up, because people will like do like giveaways, but they'll do it like with some trivia or something, and he's always on it. He knows what the answers are. He's done the research. He's like the winner, and I'm always on top of what I think they're gonna ask or whatever. I think they're gonna ask them about the channel or videos or something like that. I'll do the homework a little bit first, and so, right. Well, the reason why I mention it is because that's what he brings to the channel, right?
Hey, what's up, Ron?
Hey, Ron, what's going on, buddy? But that's what he brings to the channel.
Important. That's like really important. I mean, as a publicist, I send out tons of pitches every day asking people to interview my artist or write about them. And when people do fact checking or actually read my email or want to know more about the artist, it makes for a better interview, and then people want to be on your channel or in your publication,
Right.
That's the whole piece. I thought both of us have that passion. I think he's really good at the research. I mean, he finds like facts that I'm just like, hey, I saw that you did this, and I'm like, holy moly, that's awesome. And so this is the kickoff party, but we've been doing this. This will be episode 17 for the actual Tasty Licks interviews. Yeah.
You've been interviewing most of my clients, and I appreciate it.
No, we've appreciated it too.
I mean, they love it. They contact me all the time, and they're like, that was fantastic. So if I get good feedback, then of course I want to continue. And I know I booked the show as well, but like I want to continue pushing it forward for you guys.
And even getting like the guests and stuff like that, even when they perform, I'm just sitting back and I'm like, I know we only have like 15 people watching, if that, and I'm like, these people are playing, and I'm like, man, like I can't like it's like we're not worthy of like the meeting. You know what I'm saying? Like we're live, we're getting like a live performance from them, and like people are just missing out. And it's like, I mean, I know we're kind of separating ourselves from like the music and like the bearded world. I know it's a whole different mix, so people might not be into that or whatever, and some people are. Some company owners are into music as well, so they'll join in the chat. But it's like, it's just amazing. Like there's just been people that have performed on here that have just been awesome. It's just like when it just shows them on screen, I'm just like watching them, and I'm just like, man, this is awesome. Like, so it's been amazing.
Well, and I mean, that's what artists want. They want to show their talent, and they want to be interviewed and discussed in the world. So your show is helpful, and I'm appreciative of it because it is great. You know, we need more things like this.
I agree, and that's the whole thing. Is that all of us have put in a lot of effort and time, and we've had so much fun in the last 3 or 4 months. I mean, I've just had such a blast. And you know what's really cool is that even after the guests leave, we're still supporting them. I'm still
I see that.
reposting something on South for Winter or Dusty, or I repost what I can for Clickly Limon, and I love doing that kind of thing. It's not just about the content, because it helps me get content, push it, but it's also, we really feel like these guys are family. When you come and join and you spend your time and you're
Yeah.
with us and you're playing for our guest, we feel like you're family now, especially when we know that, there's a relation in some way to either one of our guests or to, Nicole, who is my sister. So I enjoy that. Do you know what's really cool is that before the in the green room, a lot of times we'll talk and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, Nicole is so wonderful," and I'm like, "What's funny is that she is, but it's funny to think that they have such a different relation. And these guys are professional musicians. It's cool to see my sister, because a lot of times what we see is our family as like their 10-year-old version of them.
Mhm.
Now I see Nicole is a little bit older, because the 10-year-old version I didn't really like when I was a kid.
Andy.
Such a meanie. She's such a meanie head.
She was a meanie head. She used to follow me around when I was a kid.
It's true. I mean, I
Her
grew up
friends
as
would
an
sleep
only
in my
child.
closet. She had a friend that slept in my closet, and then I got like, what happened? She put salt in
No,
my bed.
we both slept in her closet, but then I was like, I'm tired, and I went to bed, and she didn't follow me. We like
That's right.
hid in your closet, and we were like had a whole plan. I mean, I think I was like, I must have been like 9. I don't know, 8, 9. Yeah,
And they put salt in my bed.
and I like hung up all your underwear, boxers, like up on the ceiling. Yeah, it's terrible. Which was like, I mean, I was a little kid, and you were 6, 7 years older than me, so it was kind of unfair for you.
Yeah, hey.
Do you know what's so funny is that me and Nicole are so close now, and I don't, as you get older, you just don't think about these, you just don't think about the age gap anymore, because we don't.
Yeah.
She's married and lives in Nashville, but it has been really a blast to meet people that are doing this, that absolutely get what you're doing.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, they see the value add that we're trying to do as well as them, as you, and they have this great relationship. And what I see is that positivity coming from them, because they feel like they're needed, wanted, and cared about.
Yeah.
And in an industry where it is really hard to be needed and cared about.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that that's what Nicole is adding, is like, I really want you to become successful.
Mhm.
And so that is such a big plus. And I know that I've talked to several of her who have now become my friends. I hit him up. I don't know if she's, I'll be like, "Hey, Dusty, what's up?" And he'll be like, "Hey, what's going on?" And he'll tell me about the gig he's doing or something.
Yeah.
He may be just humoring me, but he's a nice guy anyway about it.
Yeah.
So
No one's been like, what? Your brother's texting me? I don't know.
he's texting me again. I don't do that.
I mean, but this is just like, oh, thanks. So I'm reading your chats, by the way. Sorry.
Thanks, Mom.
Oh
This
yeah.
is like, it's something I've been doing for so long, and to like have you start doing it is like, or working in the industry in some form or another is awesome. And I think because you and I grew up with 2 parents who are musicians who were struggling to like, and still struggle to like, be seen and be heard and have their music enjoyed. I think like that is my biggest thing, is I don't want other people to feel that way. And so I feel like I bring this authentic bit to that part of their lives, because who else is going to? If like the industry can be really terrible. So I feel like if they have somebody who's actually on their side and believes in them and who can be like their cheerleader, then I feel like you and I kind of grew up that way,
We did, and this is the interesting thing. And we had if you go to I think we actually may have transferred over some of the live streams over into this one, just to kind of have content available. I will. I know that I only had a little bit of time, so I wanted to see where I thought about it first. But the biggest thing that I saw was that you're exactly right. And that's what was so passionate, is because we grew up around music. So we have a lot of that knowledge and love and passion. I mean, every weekend somebody was playing music somewhere. Either my dad was up until midnight playing
every day during the week.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yeah. Which I will say, like, your dad's awesome. I can watch your dad play and I hear him talk like about whatever stories that he has for like all day. Like,
yeah.
He will tell you them.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know. Even like the technical difficulties that he was having.
He comes in with bananas.
He's
that's right. Yeah. No, but it's the thing. It's like musicians are all pretty unique, and I think that it's all a good example to show people in community that like what they have to add. Regardless of like, the normal. I mean, you know what I mean? There's like some artists that you're just like, whew. Totally makes sense.
There are some artists out there that are very demanding and definitely have they just have a different point of view on life.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
that's perfect.
Yeah, they do. But it's also, like music tends to be people's therapy. Gets them through things. And even you as a listener, it's the same thing,
Yeah.
So
well, and that's what we talk about, and that's the reason why we talk about when we talk interviews. That's exactly our points. Is we want to be able to show their fun side. So desserts is kind of a way of bringing them out of hey, this is something unique and something different.
Yeah.
And then additionally, we want to bring out that what makes you a creator. Like, what makes you tick to be able to do this stuff that is so fantastic that people want to hear it? And even if it is 5 people at a bar, what is it that you're doing that is helping, the world in some way by creating, beautiful music? Because I think it's an ad. Your legacy is these things. And as I get older, and I am getting older, that's the thing you leave with you. Yeah. And think about our dad. So we talk on a lot of calls. Actually, we had a recent call about it where we were like, Dad, what are you doing to get on Spotify? And he's so anxious and so nervous about being able to push that button and make it happen for him.
Yeah.
And we want to help provide that, but when he's ready, but almost like you have to I think with him, we have to screaming and dragging. He's gonna be one of those people that hey, you come. You're just gonna go. We're just gonna put your stuff on Spotify, Dad. You just have no choice anymore.
It's just that's the thing about artists, in which I like that you're interviewing about these kind of topics. Is
right.
That's part of my job. Like, I do artist development as well, but it's just basically being you can do it, but I also in that aspect, with our dad, is he also buys into so much stuff online. There's just so much stuff online to learn about the music industry, and most of it's okay. It's good for starting stuff, but I think that you also have to understand what your music is, and you kind of need somebody to tell you who's on the outside. Right? Because my dad, he's a composer. He's not a pop singer writer, So it's you need to find people in your fan base and for your community who are also doing the same things, and then kind of, mirror those kind of things in the beginning, not to a T, but Right. So I, you know, I think that like those kind of discussion and topics with your channel are possibly interesting for other people too, to learn a little more about the industry. And I hope that some of these artists have, like, some of the producers that we've booked on your show, I think give a different flair too. And then, like, I would love to know if, like, people out who are watching this or who will eventually watch this, like, what kind of musicians do they want to hear from? Like, do they have a favorite one they want to, like, you guys to interview? Like, can they put that in, you know, down in the YouTube section or comment section, or
make their suggestions on what they like and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And find people that are in that genre, and they can be like, "Oh, I like that music," or "What about that?" Or it could be like somebody they've never heard, but in their genre of music. So,
yeah, I think if people, like, if you're, I mean, yes, you've got the interviews going, but I think if you also can have the people who are listening kind of be involved in it, I think it's also going to, like, boost the show and make it just more phenomenal.
Yeah, and that's what we're going to be pushing. So more marketing and then more engagement with the audience so that we can have them ask questions. The last one, we had a really good discussion last week with, we had really great questions. And, you know, James has been really good about saying, "Hey, Andy, there's a question." Or so-and-so wants that. Yeah. Because
sometimes, I mean, there's so much to talk about within, like, the hour. And it's like you want to kind of, I mean, you can't help, and you want to interrupt a guest, like, "Oh, stop talking, we got questions." Like, kind of want him to talk too, but, like, you can just talk about so much stuff in just a little bit of time. You know what I'm saying? It just so much can kind of just keep going with the conversation, and he can keep kind of running on or whatever. And, like, I want to, like, ask this stuff. So before, like, he's only got an hour, so it's like we got to ask this. So I try and get those in. You know what I'm saying? If there's somebody else, or try and engage with the chat, and if they have questions, you know, ask their questions too, because, you know, it's about them. They're watching. They want to know about them too. So
yeah. Well, and this is the other thing too. Like you mentioned, you know, artistry, and I mean, James, you're an artist yourself with chef. Like, being a chef is also part of that.
Yeah.
So you can also understand where artists are coming from in that dynamic. And I like that you guys bring the dessert section. Everyone is always like, "Ooh, we get to bring a dessert." So it's great. I think it's fantastic. And I feel like you should also elaborate more on that too, because it's pretty fantastic.
I think so. That's what separates us. So I think that's what. I think we could do more with it, and I don't know what that is yet. We could either describe or get recipes that we could, or what was suggested is that we find out the guest's favorite dessert. They can get it, and then we go get it from our local area, and chef can make it. And even if it's a fusion or fusion point of it. Yeah, I thought that would maybe
say, like, "Oh, my favorite is, like, chocolate cake," or something like that, or something like, or, you know, just something simple and nothing, like, crazy. But I mean, really, it's nothing really. Not everything's not really too crazy. As long as you're not making, like, a big old cake or something like that. Maybe something, you know, banana pudding, or, you know,
or
something like that, or just something just simple, like, put together.
Yeah, and that's what I planned on. I thought maybe we could talk. That'd be a good discussion thing. So
what about like family recipes too? Like, you could do, like, "Hey, in my family, we all eat this," or, you know, for dessert, and then you could make it, and it could be maybe like the last 15 minutes of the show, or I don't know. Yeah, like I said, you should also ask the people out there watching or future watching, like, please comment and tell us what you would like to see.
Yeah.
True, and that's the big thing is what would people want to see. I think some people like the live, but not everybody's going to do a live performance. So that's always, like, a big thing is live performance, and we've really enjoyed those. Like, I think, I mean, South for Winter was amazing. Yeah,
that was when I was really like, "Oh my god, this is just like a live HD." Like, and they're in their studio, which was even more awesome. Like, they actually went to their studio. That's amazing.
Which was amazing, because guess whose studio that was? It was the studio last week's guy.
Matt,
Oh.
no, that wasn't Matt's studio.
Was it
Uh,
Omni?
But
Oh, it
Matt
wasn't Omni.
was the one who produced them, and then also played bass, and he's
Oh,
just been
Oh, okay.
great with them too. Yeah, no, that's actually at their house. They built their
Oh,
own
okay.
little
Oh,
studio
okay.
at their house,
That's
which
crazy
looks
cool.
like a legit studio.
Still awesome. Yeah, it was like they just went somewhere and went somewhere, not even their house. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, let's see what. Yeah, that's cool.
They're such talented artists. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, I
And
thought
they're
so
actually
too.
on tour right now. They're in Colorado Springs, and what's like totally dear to my heart is they're playing at my best friend's restaurant.
Oh, that's awesome.
She just opened it up, Erin.
Oh, really?
Yeah, up in Woodland Park. And so they've been playing there, and I'm like, oh,
That's awesome.
yeah.
That's cool. That is really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they just got into the Colorado Springs Gazette, and like a full-on story inside of like an actual printed copy.
Oh,
So
that is so
exciting.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? This is what I like about them. And I liked about this I don't think we've had a single artist, and a lot of them is because they're connected to you. They're not jerks or anything.
No.
All of them have been super uber nice about, hey, how's it going? And you'll be like, and they're like, hey, things are going great. How's your tour going? They're like, it's going great. Here's where we're at. You're like, oh, cool. How's your van? The South for Winter thing is because they just got that new van.
They
Yeah.
did it.
Like,
They did it all. They even have an Instagram where you can follow everything that they've done with the van.
Nice.
Like building it, like Nick, he helped. I mean, they all built it, but Nick really did, I think, most of the legwork. Maybe Alex too. But yeah, it looks amazing. I got to be in it like a couple weeks ago.
Nice.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, well, because they don't live far from me, so we always meet for coffee and go over band things.
Yeah, that's cool. How did you meet Jonathan? I always wondered about that. How did you meet Jonathan and some of these other?
Yeah, so if I can ever get Davey to come on here, Dave Riley, he is like our guy best friend, James and I. James knows him because they used to work together for a second. And then when they were like visiting from LA, they had a bunch of friends come meet us, and Jonathan was one of them, him and his wife. And I was like, they're amazing. I want to be friends with them. And then I didn't, know what he did for a living. We just became friends. And then I was like, oh, you're a musician. Let's talk.
Oh, that's
How can I help? Because literally, I mean, I got into the music industry randomly, but it's always been something on my mind because of my father, and I always wanted to help him some way or another. And I thought, just being in the industry, I'm like, oh, well, I want to help people that I actually care about and love,
And I think that you can pick that up from them. That's the one thing that you can pick out. They really care about you as a person as well. They're all like, oh,
Yeah.
like some people didn't know who I was. Like, who are you? Like, I just got invited to this from Dusty or something.
Who's this guy?
Yeah.
Well, I
Who's
also
this guy?
try not to, like, I'm not, being a publicist, like, I try not to be
Do the
like,
whole
oh, this is
nepotism
my
thing.
brother.
Hey,
Yeah,
they do this guy, right? This guy's my brother. And,
You're gonna get Yeah. Do it as a
Some
favor
people
for my.
feel like they have to do it too, I want them to like
Yeah.
want to do it.
Yeah,
Right, no
But
pressure.
most
or-
people want to. That's what you don't understand is like this is a platform that artists want to be a part of.
Right.
Like, you'll get artists as you grow, and you'll get fancy pantalones artists, and some of them might not be your cup of tea. So,
Yeah.
and I kind of can feel those out a little bit, but
Well, that's the good thing about being in the. The dogs have decided that they're
going to join.
They're
I'm
gonna
surprised
join.
my cat's not trying to join. He was trying earlier. That's the lovely thing about doing stuff at your home. You can't help those
That's
things.
what. So yeah, I was talking to powers that be. That I was like, you know what? I would really like to get my own studio, and so
Mhm.
when I get a little bit more. I would say probably in the next 6 months, once we really grow this. Um, I'm probably gonna be moving to like rent a space in downtown Mesa to be able to do these shows so that I can be able to have a space where I have studio equipment. I mean, I have so much equipment and I can't fit it all in the space that I'm in now. But I don't think you can really tell, but I would really love to have, just an area where I can just, even if I go to work. What's going on, Jason?
Hi, Jason.
Jason Esser.
Jason Esser is on. We appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Thank you for spelling my name correctly.
She did. I just noticed that. And you know how many times I have to tell people that, I call her Nikki.
Yeah, I know. I'm like,
that's
it's weird you calling me Nicole.
Yeah, just call her Nicole. Because it's weird, because I didn't grow up around. But you know what? Me and my dad are the only ones who didn't grow up. Like, she actually stopped using that name 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 30 years ago. And we're all like, we're holding out. We're still stuck on 6-year-old Nicole.
Yeah. Although I think at 7 I decided no more.
I think you did. And we just didn't care. We were just like, no, this is what we can pronounce.
Rude dad and granny. Only people call me Nikki.
I know. And it's only from childhood on. It's like, literally nobody. Now, the funny thing is that I get called Andrew. I still am an Andy. I'm always Andy. Even
I
though
can't say it's an Andrew.
Yeah.
I mean, James, do you go by anything? Like, do you have a Jim or Jamie?
Growing up, I'm still using my mom calling me Jimmy or Jim. I mean, I still have my mom don't call me James. I mean, it would kind of feel weird to be like have my mom call me James, but I mean, I think it's James on my birth certificate, but it's always been, Jimmy. I was named after like her one of her best friends that passed away at a young age. So yeah, it was his name was James. So, but yeah, I even friends when I first moved to Florida, they call me Jimmy. So it's like, no, that's fine. I'll go by either one.
Okay.
But I think majority it's mostly James. But I think people that have known me for a while, like when I first moved down here, or even family wise, call me Jimmy.
That's cool.
See, that's I have an uncle Jim. Andy, of course, was named after my dad or our dad, but I was named after a soap opera character name from The Young and the Restless.
She is. So growing up, I would come and stay during the summers because my parents were divorced, and so I'd go visit our mom, stepmom, my stepmom, her mom.
Mom.
But yeah, mom. But so I would go down there, and every day during the week, Young and the Restless was on. It stopped. Like the world stopped during it was like 11 a.m.
Oh yeah.
For that hour, nobody was to interrupt Mom and the Young and the Restless.
It's like watching the world, some tragedy on the news. They're like, nope, gotta watch it. It's like General Hospital and all that stuff came on.
Yeah, and then before that, I think it was before was Price is Right. So it went like Price is Right, Young and the Restless.
Yep.
And then Bold and the Beautiful, but we didn't watch that.
No, we did not. So it was Young and the Restless. And then, after a while, I started going, well, I wonder what happened to Cricket. And
Danny.
Yeah. What happened to some of these?
Too. She still watches and she's still like, yeah, Victor and Nikki. I'm like, oh man, they got to be like 100. Still trying to decide.
They still get questions on the street. They still get questions on the street, and they're like 70. Like, bro's been done for a while.
It's my favorite story. Is like one time I was walking through my old neighborhood in LA, and one of the guys on The Young and the Restless was there, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's what's his name? And I kind of forget who it was. And I called Mom, and I was like, Mom, guess who's in front of me? And the guy literally was trying to run away from me, but I was like,
God dang it.
You're on The Young and the Restless. You're not some really cool celebrity.
He's like code red. I gotta get out of here.
Putting his head down in his hat, and I'm like,
God dang it. I gotta move now. I gotta get out of here.
I wonder if he just was like, I don't want to be recognized for the soap opera I'm on.
it's the only thing he's on though, and he makes good money if he's living in those hills. Like, come on, he's you know.
So Ron saying that his mom watches that too.
Yeah, his grandma. That's hilarious.
And mom, yeah, that's hilarious. Isn't that funny though? It's like like back in the day, there was only 4 stations, so you were like stuck with one of those. Now the worst part about it is that like if on a holiday they still tried to play like those shows, you'd be like, oh, so every once in a while. And I was like older. I was like in my 20s. I would still watch the show, and he'd be like, "Hey, there's that girl. That's where Cricket. She now is like the older lady who's like now have her stuff together. Like when we were watching it, she was like a teen pregnant mom. And now
of
she's
course, like had to give a kid away or something.
That's right. That's right. They're all like, and now she's like the.
She actually, what's funny? This is like random fact, but. The producer actually wrote the story for Cricket. Her name's Christine something. So that's why the whole program was for her to be an actress.
Oh, that's hilarious.
It's a good name, though, Cricket. I kind of like it.
Yeah. I like it. If you have a name.
Why couldn't Mama name me Cricket instead of Nikki?
Then be like, was your mom like a hippie or something?
No, not in the least.
Cricket. Oh, what the hell?
I know. She wanted to name me Tony Lee, and Dad beat him. So.
Nicole. What were you going to be named?
Tony Lee.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah. That's all she wanted, and Dad vetoed.
She's like, no, Nicole.
Yeah. But this is the thing. Like, okay, so we only had like 4 stations, right, growing up. And then we got like cable, like MTV, and all these cool like VH1. And now there's just like so many things out there. But I don't know. I remember MTV was just like my thing. Like, I just wanted to watch music videos nonstop. I didn't really want to watch Nickelodeon or Disney.
I remember taping like music videos on VHS tape.
Yeah, I still have them on VHS. I'd like sit there and wait for them and like record. Yeah. I still have
the videos come out.
Yeah, you'd be like waiting, and now all it is like you just YouTube it. You're like, there it is.
That is so true. The other day, so I'm over at, so it was Christy's 50th last night. So we're over at her party. Birthday. Yeah, she's a total half century. And it's coming up soon for me too.
Don't say that too loud.
Yeah. You still got like 3 years.
Yeah, I still got 3 years. So anyway, so we're just sitting there, and he's like, hey, go look at this band. And so my buddy's like showing me it was a Japanese rock band that uses half of their band uses the original Japanese music, musical instruments.
Okay.
Wow.
So it's like, or the authentic or whatever they back in the day instruments. And then they have like a rock bass, an electric guitar, this one person just like shredding out licks, and then they're playing this other person in the corners playing like the little 3-string thing that makes ding 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 ding, and it's just like holy moly. But the person who's playing the little 3-string thing is like just totally rocking it. They're just like you're like, whoa. One of them's just like a geisha girl. So she has like the sticks in her hair, and
where was this? What restaurant?
I was at. Oh, it was at a restaurant called. No, it was just on a YouTube.
We were just on a YouTube video. Yeah.
Yeah, we were just watching YouTube videos. I was at a restaurant because it was we went and did. We just went to a local bar.
Oh my gosh! By the way, I'm sorry, but yes, I remember the box on the. I loved the box. Do you remember that station? It was a music video station.
It was the one where you could like request, or you paid.
Request line, and you would be like, "Okay, I'll spend $2 to request this one video." Yes.
And it was like on like it was like if you did not did not have cable, you could get this UFN
Yes.
station. Yeah.
Yes, it was like on the weird channels, and we still I
Yeah.
think we still had like dial, Andy. We might have still had dial at that point.
We did.
Yeah.
We did.
Like
Um,
you were the remote. Like Andy changed it to channel 3 or something.
Yes.
Well, we didn't get like colored remote TV until '92.
Yes, we did not. And they got it from This is so crazy. So we and
We
they
grew
would
up in the
say
dark ages.
we did. Specifically, they would say, you know why we really do this? And it was literally my mom's black and white 16-inch television
Yes.
and they would say, oh, well, it's so good because we like to watch scary movies and you never get to see the blood on this thing. So
That's
that was
true.
very true. We used to watch, and what did we say the other day? We were stuck between
Horror movies and
horror
B
movies and what?
B movies.
B movies.
B-rated
Right.
movies.
Oh my goodness. And my dad had a knack for picking the
The
worst
worst.
movies known
Like,
to man.
Not just like not horror, not like scary. Oh, it was like, oh my gosh, we have to sit
like
through this?
cheesy, like
Yeah, does that person know how to act? No? Okay.
like D-rated films.
Yeah, and they're just like, oh no, someone's coming into the room. And then someone comes in and you're like, oh God. You
Like,
know?
do we go to safety or
They
do we, like,
yeah.
do we go in the woods or go to this car that's running right now? Let's go to the woods.
Yeah. Terrible.
Or it's even dubbed. Or dubbed was even worse. Dubbed
Yeah.
from some other language. You're like,
Oh
and it
yeah.
doesn't-
I would have
the
rather
dub-
just read the text, yeah.
yeah.
That's so funny. So the comments on the side,
Yeah,
I guess like someone's dad made them like hits of the 80s on VHS.
yeah, Johnny's dad.
That's hilarious.
That's
And then
hilarious.
same thing. My mom used to use VHS record music. Yeah, I did the same thing.
I was like, I couldn't like. I think yeah, I must have been like in first grade, and I remember I don't know how I heard. By the way, how did we hear anything happening back then? I don't even remember. We didn't have the internet, so it was like word of mouth or something. But I remember we had Max Headroom coming to PV Mall. And I was like, I have to go see him. Like, I was in first grade. Why did I know he was coming? You know? And I have all these pictures, and I was like, have stickers, and I was so excited.
Or making like mixtapes. Mixtapes were like the best.
Oh, my brother has a great mixtape story.
I did that too.
Please tell it.
I used to make mixtapes for this girl.
For
in
this
college.
girl? How many girls?
You're selling them out the back seat of your back of your car.
I forgot about that.
Yeah,
you can't really. Yeah, I can't really lie about it. So I had this was my modus operandi. I would make a mixtape for some girl, and then that would be my love connection. Like, hey, I made you a mixtape. And then there was one girl that I lived in like California. I sent her a ton. And what I did, like at first I would like be a DJ. I'd be like, here's a little song for you, Casey Lou. And then it'd be like some metal song that I had a tape of. Because I had like the double recorded, because I had the double record. I had the tape, and then I could also put the other tape. So I had the 2 cassettes. So I would be like, this is for you. And then I would give them that. And I would send it to them or give it to them. I made a little song, I made some stuff for you. Here you go.
And then didn't you at some point too, like, just like copy?
Yes.
You just like copied them and gave it to like the next girl. Like, I made this for you. Actually, it was for someone else, but I copied it. Here's this one for you.
That is what I did. Yes. After a while, I stopped even talking about it. And I just started making like, here's the top 10 metal ballads that I have.
Which is like a good Friends episode. Like they have a good episode on that.
That was like Ross. Yeah. So forever, that's what I was. I was Ross. So I'm still probably a little bit of Rossy. There was an episode, Nicole always goes, you're kind of like Ross from Friends. I'm like, maybe. Maybe so. The nerdy paleontologist IT guy.
Yeah.
I could see it.
I mean, everyone can find themselves in that show.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, everyone knows if the scary guy or monster chases you, you always run upstairs.
That's right.
Yeah.
Go upstairs. Go into.
Never out the front door, even though you're very close to it. You go upstairs. Everyone always goes up for everything.
Or hide in the closet. I'm like,
Oh, see, that just plain bearded has it. So yes, he has the rules, or he has the rules. You will die if you commit any of these things. You go into a scary house. If you have sex with somebody, because that's immoral, and you're a kid, you're not supposed to be doing that. You're gonna die. Somebody from this party is gonna die. Both of you, maybe at least one of you.
I think there's like only a couple of scary movies that really got me. Like,
yeah,
I'm trying to think of them.
So I think the best one to this day of the movies that we rented was Lady in White.
Oh, I love that movie.
That was good. That was a good movie. I remember watching that movie.
Yeah,
I actually looked it up the other day because I was like, I really want to watch this. How do I watch this? And I thought that, like, I thought it was from like the 50s, but it's really not. It's like from the 90s or something.
Yeah, it was in the 90s. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was Hereditary. That movie, that's like one of the most like, scary, gory movies. There's only one part that I was like, seriously, to this day, I'm still like really sad about. And also, as a teenager, Scream. Yeah, I was like, that one got me good.
Do you know what it was? Is that you were a teenager and it was kind of a creepy little teenager movie where, it was.
Well, and it's like I was babysitting, and you're like, I mean, I was telling the story the other day. I was like babysitting at 14. Like, what was I going to do if someone ever came into the house? I'm 14. And these like parents are like, yeah, go ahead, 14-year-old. But I used to like sit and watch their MTV because we didn't have it.
That's right. That's exactly how she did. I was like, you know what? We never had cable, but I remember that's how you used to get to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
She always had babysitting gigs during the weekend or on Friday nights or Thursday nights or Saturday nights.
It was great though. It wasn't like I was going to hang out. I was too young, but yeah.
Right.
And also I remember I was like watching MTV and Kurt Cobain had died, and I was like, oh, and I was like, kind of a child. Crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember there was this girl that was in my English class, like when I was in 9th grade, where she was like the biggest like Nirvana fan ever in like the world, and he went, oh my god, when he died, it was the end of the world when that happened.
It's sad. I have a boss who like worked with Nirvana, and he would like tell stories, and I worked in front of him and he worked behind me, and I would sit there and like listen. I'd be like, what, tell me more. What else can I know that I didn't know before?
I remember renting a movie and get home, I have to rewind the movie thing.
Isn't that so?
Or like you have to rewind it before you drop
machine that you like slam it down, yeah. Be
and
kind, rewind.
If you like
$1.50 or something, you don't like rewind
it. We used to have to rent a VHS.
Oh yeah.
We'd like rent the whole thing and we'd like bring it home. Do you remember that, Andy?
Oh, I totally remember that. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Before Dad got his like really high end one, we used to rent.
Yeah, that thing was like so old, and he still uses it, I'm sure.
He still does. He probably still has VHS. I was like, so I went to Christy's birthday was like yesterday. So Tuesday, I go down, and Christy's really into antiques. So I go down to downtown Mesa, which is like it has a whole lot of antique stores. Apparently 3 or 4 of them were closed from different situations, which is sad. But so I go in and I'm like, there is like this store that has nothing but VHS. And I'm like, I think that even if I bought one right now, we don't even have a VHS player. Like we couldn't do like we barely have a DVD player.
Yeah, I was like, I don't even have a DVD player.
Yeah, like who does that anymore? Crazy. Like we got Apple TVs and Alexas. That's what we have right now, or Fire TVs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's like, another thing too. Is like, remember when we first had like iTunes, and then you like bought all these songs, and then they were like, oh, we're actually going to convert it to, I don't know what they converted to. It was like you could get a higher quality song or just keep the old stuff. Well, now they're about to do it again.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
and it's Dolby Atmos.
yes.
And you're going to have to pay more to get it, like a large amount more, like $5 a song.
Oh my god.
Oh, geez.
I mean, and it costs the bands lots of money to do it too, which is, you know, a whole different story. But yeah, get ready for more future stuff.
Because what they're trying to do, they're trying to be immersive. So they're trying to throw the, and me and Nicole grew up.
Call me Nikki. Okay.
Yeah, we grew up in a house where my dad was a 3D fanatic. So 3D is the three-dimensional pictures, and you take a picture and it has two different sides of it, and then you can see it, and it's an immersive experience. And we've seen 3D come and go at least 3 or 4 times in our particular, because our dad would be really excited about, oh, 3D is coming back and they're making all these things, and I got a 3D Toshiba, and then it would fade off because that immersive experience is just kind of novelty. It's not really ever something that can be fully. Now they're trying Oculus, and I can see that they're trying to push it. But like, I went into the virtual reality sphere into iPhone. They have the same ones from 5 years ago. It's like the same apps. I'm like, it just dies. It just dies a horrible
same thing,
death.
same thing, different name.
Well, right. 3D TV was another example. Like oh, let's go buy 3D TVs, and then they saw that, oh, everybody's got to wear these glasses, and it's kind of hard on our eyes. Yeah.
But I mean, this is like sound, so it's like a 3D sound. So we'll see, you know.
But does it come out? But how does it come out? And supposedly you just need basic speakers. You don't need we don't need any special things.
I mean, I wish I could. I mean, my husband sells this stuff to like giant record studios around town. So like Blackbird is one of them, and you can actually like look it up on Instagram. He did a whole thing for them. So it is 2 speakers, but I believe it's certain speakers too. Like, you don't want to just go cheap. You're not like, oh, let me put these little crappy things up and I'll get this experience. Like, I don't think it really works like that.
So when we were a kid, they tried to do something like this before, and my dad bought this little box. Do you remember this little box, Nicole?
Which one?
It was this thing that if you sat in a certain area of the room, it had to be sitting in this perfect area of the room, and you could get this immersive experience, but you could only get it if you sat in this one little spot in the room, and you had to have this box that did it. And so they would play Pink Floyd, and Pink Floyd has all the, especially some on the wall,
the effects
has a lot of the effects and
fading in and out and stuff.
Right, and Pink Floyd has a lot of those great audio effects that were already built in, and that's actually really good stadium rock, because you can play different speakers within why Pink Floyd was so good in concert, honestly. But also their albums had some of that. They were trying to achieve that same thing, where different areas of the speaker would come out with different drum, it would come out and it'd be like a rolling drum thing throughout the speakers.
Right.
So that was the only time, but literally you had to sit in this one area of the room, and you had to like, I think I hear it. Yeah, it was $200 worth of, I think we could hear this better than what we had before.
Yeah, I mean, that's a whole other conversation about 3D.
We'll just see if the atmosphere thing. I think they have to now, so they're rolling it out. But it's $5 and another.
Well, like as an artist, when you are doing distribution, you have a bunch of platforms that you can choose from, and it just is expensive to upload it as Dolby, as like this new integrative Atmos kind of thing.
Yeah, spatial sound.
People, I mean, like, I think what's good for like a discussion too with other artists is like the background of like what they have to go through in order to be an artist.
Right.
Like, people who just consume take it for granted, and it's like such a hard process, and it's ever changing. And I mean, there's just so much that they have to do in order to get like your eyes and ears on it, and then also to get your wallet involved. So, it's I think it would be really great to have those kind of conversations with people too, because to make other people realize what they're going through is a good, subject.
Yeah, Gary and Johnny have come on. Thank you guys.
Hi, Gary.
Yeah.
And Johnny Groom. Well, Johnny product reviews now.
Yeah.
I like that. I think that's cool. We're all. Do you know what's interesting is that the group of us have all expanded in saying, "Hey, we're going to do some different stuff," and this is my different stuff. I think we all decided we were all part of the beard community, and Johnny expanded his into it's more still he can still do grooming, but he's going to expand it into different stuff.
Right.
And then our friend Ken is doing YouTube content creation videos.
That's great.
That's cool.
So it's just transferred all of that to it.
That he's leaving.
Hey, what's up, Steven?
Hey, what's going on, buddy? What's going on? So I'm going to go desserts. We're going to go desserts really quick.
Yes.
I did bring desserts.
Dessert.
And I brought blueberry muffins today.
Ooh.
I really like blueberry muffins, and I forgot how much I really enjoy them until I got these. So,
James, did you bring a dessert? Yeah. Okay, what is
it? Strawberry cheesecake.
Oh.
I crushed up some like Butterfinger, so like Butterfinger mashed tomatoes too.
Yeah.
So it's like peanut butter jelly kind of mixed with chocolate. So
I realized before we were doing this, I was like, I already ate my dessert, but I have my school lunch bag with me, and in it I've got this yummy toaster and some peanut butter. That could be a dessert.
That's good.
Yeah, fancy it up. Costco blueberry muffins are the best, Joey said.
Gluten-free.
They are. So this is so I want you to note that this has been a family tradition of people who come on my show or our show, and they bring what was in a basket or in their kitchen,
or an ingredient, yeah, it's like a banana.
Or an ingredient that could be used in a dessert. But,
well, a few times it was like I stole my kids' Halloween candy.
Yes.
Got a banana. Desserts.
What's the desserts part, Andy? Oh, I stole some candy from my kids. They're all like, "Oh, that's great."
I mean, I basically pulled what Dad pulled, right? He just like took some bananas or something. He was just like
a banana.
I'm like, hold on, what do I have over here on my desk?
He was like, I'll be right back, and he goes, "Oh, you got a banana."
What's even funnier? I think you just got that out of the kitchen, didn't you? Hey, look, I got some oranges too.
I want to ask a couple questions before, because it's like 3 till, right? I don't know. Does it just stop? Okay, so I think what would be great is also trying to maybe have like surprise guests come on the show, besides just like the guest that's the musician, but like maybe have somebody like come in to ask a couple questions so that they're part of the program. I don't know if you can work that out.
A little guest interview kind of thing session.
Yeah, they can be there for like 5 minutes to ask a question, and then like see if someone else will. I feel like that would be a lot of fun. I don't know. Do the people listening think that would be a fun idea? Like, would they want to do that?
Like whoever would volunteer, like kind of
give. Well, I know that Gary has said that he would be on any time, so we have no problem with that. Okay. Yeah, Gary would definitely be on any time.
Just make sure, like, I mean, if anyone wants to do this, like, contact the booker.
Yes, contact the booker. Let them know that you want to be a surprise guest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
Yeah, that's what Gary says. Good idea. But yeah, we would have so much fun doing that. Like, you know what I was listening to? I was listening to an interview the other day, so I'm getting interview tips on how to interview and what to interview on, and then how to run an interview. And the audience thing they were doing, it was a Comic-Con thing. So it was like, so I watched Weird Science the other day. Me and Nicole
Oh yeah,
have
we're
a love
that's
for
right.
Weird Science. We used to go, so I'm just going to tell the snippet, the small version of the show. We used to go every Saturday to a teacher friend of my parents, and we watched Weird Science like for like a year or
That's,
2
yeah, that's
years.
all
I
we
mean,
want.
we
Yeah.
wouldn't watch anything. We would just come over and we would hang out. She would drink beer and it would explode all over her kitchen because she would always freeze it and she would always take it out of the freezer and then it would explode all over the house every time we did it. We'd watch Weird Science and they would chat. I mean, it would be fun. But for us kids, we were like, "Hey, Weird Science again!" And we luckily, it's a funny show, and we liked it.
From the 80s, yeah,
It was from the 80s. It was John Hughes. Totally awesome movie. But
Yeah.
because I watched a interview with the three main leads, so it had Kelly on it. What is his name? The guy who played in European Vacation. Yeah. And then it had Michael Anthony Hall. And then
was
he had
Bill Paxton? What did they interview him too?
No, he was passed on by this point.
Oh.
So this was like just 2 years ago. And then they had so they had Kelly, they had the other him, and then they had the other lead boy who actually kind of turned it no, it was just the other lead. The other main 15-year-old kid who was kissing Kelly.
Wyatt.
Yeah, Wyatt.
Oh yeah.
Or yeah.
You gotta play Wyatt.
So, yeah. So anyway, those guys were on and they interviewed them, and the way Comic-Con works is that they do the interview at first and then they have people from the audience come up and ask a question. So I was thinking of a way that you could do that, and I think that's a perfect segue, is to get people from the groups just to be able to come on for a second. Hey, I have a question. Or I was thinking video us a thing, and we can play the ask on a video.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Especially for people that don't maybe want to get on live stream or something and they're nervous about it, but send us a video. And then that would be a way to be able to interact. And hey, we got a video from a guest, and
or like say they don't have like
question.
Say they don't have like a good internet connection, or they can't at the time. They can kind of pre-record something and like, hey, that way they don't have to worry like, oh, I got to get home and you got to do this, I got to do that, I got to prep, we got to whatever.
Yeah,
I'm saying they can kind of pre-record a question and be like, and that'd probably be more easier, more efficient way to do it.
Yeah, because that's what I was trying. I was thinking, how do you get? Because the Comic-Con thing is such a phenom. People go to those things hugely because of, and they're huge nerd conventions. But normal people go to it. Yeah, normal people go to it. My mom.
That would be awesome. Good. I've never been to one.
They are absolutely fun. And if you're into Star Wars or any fantasy sci-fi thing, it's the thing, or anime, really anime, a big, huge anime fan, or comic books. So we're going to probably bring Kate in this next year as soon as it opens up with Phoenix Comic-Con.
Wants to go. That's cute.
He is such a anime fan. And I'm like, so him and Colin and my stepson Colin and Charisse, my daughter, they're all into anime. So they all have like, they buy Pokemon cards together and they talk about anime all day, and I'm just like, I don't even know what anime is really. I didn't,
Yeah, you do. It's just that it's more popular now with the younger generations, but we still grew up with it.
Yeah, I just don't remember it as much. I didn't watch it, so I guess I should say I didn't watch it. I had friends that did.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, but I remember those games, like the little video games that were like Japanese video games. Those were cool.
And Jap animation. Yeah.
I'm making up a word. I just made that up. Anyway, I just remember all the video games came from Japan at one point, actually, because that's where Nintendo came from.
Yeah.
So it was like all 8-bit like kung fu games.
Yeah, I mean, it's been around for a long time.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I think that's a great idea. And then we're always open to suggestions. So Tasty Licks Interviews at gmail.com is our Gmail account, our email account. So definitely hit us up if you are interested in, being part of the show, or you have an idea for the show. We're always happy. You can put some comments down the video down below for anybody who's watching it in the future. Always interested. This is a new channel, a new venture for me and James. And of course, Nicole's going to be behind the scenes. We wanted to bring her up front today to just kind of kick off this show, because this is a whole new channel dedicated to music and influence, being influenced by music, everything that is, I'm a bit of a musician, not a professional musician, but I play guitar. I played clarinet. I was around musicians all my life. So music has been such a big part in being able to give back in a channel, and being able to celebrate music is going to be an awesome adventure. So I'm just really excited. I know James is excited to be on.
Yeah, I've always kind of, when I first started attending concerts and stuff like that, I always kind of want to be like, man, it'd be awesome to kind of talk to. I mean, I've gotten to meet a couple bands here and there. I've gotten to meet like Stone Sour, like Corey Taylor, the singer from Slipknot, and we got to meet that band. Not Slipknot, but his side band. But I mean, I've gotten to meet a couple different bands just from like meet and greets and stuff like that. But like, it always kind of was that always fascinated me to be cool to like interview band members. You know what I'm saying? So to kind of do it now, even if it's just on like this platform, I'll take it however I can get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's a good start. You know what I'm saying? I mean, who knows where this could lead out? You never know.
Right.
You could,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a perfect way to start and meet new people and talk to artists. So
Yeah. And
Well,
if you are an artist and you want to be booked on the show, you can also contact me at Nicole with an H at getgoodpr.com. That's where I'm booking from. But also email them or find us on Instagram.
Yeah.
But we really want all of the bands and musicians and producers and all the in-betweens we can get.
Absolutely. Because we have so much fun doing it. So
Yeah.
I'm going to leave it there. We try to stick this to an hour. We're a little bit over today, but we started a little late, so we'll give us that. And so we'll be definitely revamping. You'll also see some more music content coming out from me. We might have some different people posting different things like music theory and maybe some guitar stuff. I play guitar, so some different music that will be interesting, and even maybe some music news things that we're talking about doing content wise. So just to help supplement the interviews and also just make this a channel that people want to come to and visit and have fun on. So thank you guys for all watching. James, do you have any last thoughts or words for today?
Yeah, I'm excited for what's to come. So I can't wait.
Me too. And Nicole, again, thank you. I mean, not only are you a sister, but you've really helped embrace this with us. And this has been just an absolute delight to be able to work with you at this level and having the ability to show our love for music and kind of where we came from passion wise with this industry. And it's been fun sharing this journey with you. And so we'll be able to do that further. She'll be behind the scenes most of the time. We might bring her up to the big leagues every once in a while, but most of the time she's going to be behind the scenes, really helping support us. And working away. And this is the thing is that support is so helpful, because without that, this show would not happen. I mean, honestly, we wouldn't have the amazing guests that we've had so far. And we continue to have that because we have the ability to reach out to people, because you have the connections to be able to do so and have the help. So we just hands down thank you for what we've done so far and what has been. But we are very happy and very fortunate to be able to go into the future with a great person that is going to be so passionate and helpful and has our back so well. And so we appreciate that. So
welcome.
We are going to let that go. Yeah. we love Nicole. We love Nicole. Well, I love Nicole to death. She's awesome. But so we will talk to you guys next week. And next week, I think we have another really awesome
You've got you have Silas, who is an amazing composer. And if you've ever seen the Netflix show Chef's Table, the first season especially, he wrote all the music for.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we are excited to have him on. And, you know, music is so, especially from the producer side, we have enjoyed having music producer engineers on because such a different perspective to music, right? Amazing.
Well,
Such
and
an
like
amazing.
he writes for a lot of TV and film. So
Yeah.
you'll, like if you have kids, he did, it's the meatball one. I always forget what it is. Something cloudy with something of chance of meatballs or whatever it is.
Oh yeah, the cloudy.
like-
yeah, we watch those movies.
Yeah, of course, you've got kids. There's just things that like you don't know the behind the scenes that these people are working hard to do as well. And so I want to also bring them forward. So that's just my little spiel on Silas next week.
Yay!
Nice.
Yay! So join us
Bring
next
your
week, next
questions.
Thursday. Bring us some questions. Bring your dessert ideas, and we're gonna have a great time. Thank you guys for joining us on our inaugural kickoff this channel. So fun! This was been a blast. We'll talk to you guys next week.
Bye, guys.